Alright, so the next thing we want to do here is have a button. We can create a submit button, right? So let's go to sign up, and in React Native we actually have a button component as well. However, this will be very plain, so you don't get the button that you would expect, especially when you use button in websites, web development. You get this nice button with some background color, easily customizable. However, with React Native it's a little bit different, so let's have a look at it. So this is how you use React Native button component. You give a title and you give the title, so that's how it looks. Alright, so you still get this the effect. When you press, you get this slightly faded effect, so that's pretty nice. But there is another component that is used quite often in React Native, and that is quite flexible as well. So instead of just a button, there is another component called touchable opacity. Okay, so using that component you can make anything like a button, or at least when user clicks, for example, maybe on the image or maybe some block of text, anything, when they click, especially in mobile apps, mobile device, you want to give this kind of effect so that user knows that it has been clicked. You see this kind of the opacity, it changes when you press, so that kind of effect you get with that component. So instead of button we can use that touchable opacity. And the good thing about this component is you can use this to wrap any other component, like image, anything basically. So let me show you how you can use that. So touchable opacity, so this way you can create your own custom buttons, or you can just make anything clickable. Let's start with the text. Okay, so we're using this package text from this package called React Native text. So we just pass some values here, some props, and we give this title submit, and here we can make it bold, medium, and we are center it. Alright, so you can see that's how it looks. When you click, when you press, when user press, they get this nice faded effect. So that's touchable opacity. Now obviously we have to write a whole lot of custom CSS as well here. That's how it works. So let's do some styling, and we're going to move it to another component so that we can reuse this button. So let's give this a background color of this value. Alright, so this kind of orange color, and give this height of 50, and from the bottom I want to have a bit of a gap. So okay, so that is actually not working at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to make it scrollable as well, because on the actual device when they start typing here, the keyboard will appear here, and that will hide the button. So that's why we need this to go up, but at the moment it's not working. So let's remove that. We'll come back to this one later. Justify content center, and actually the previous one I was trying margin bottom. Let's give this a value of 20. Okay. Alright, so we got the height, margin bottom, bit of a margin, justify content center, margin horizontal, because you can see it is touching the edges. So let's give margin horizontal 10. Okay, so that's nice. And border radius So we want to make this look like a button, so a bit of a rounded edge, right? So border radius, let's try 24. Okay, that looks nice. Margin horizontal, I think we can go a bit higher, maybe 20, maybe 15. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we got this button. Now let's move this to a separate component before we do anything. Let me just copy. Actually, you can cut. So cut this one. Go to components. Button. We can put inside auth. Submit button. Let's call it. All right. So import React from React. Const submit button, return. Actually it's just going to be one element, so you can even use parentheses, so you don't have to write return keyword, and just paste that here. Now export default submit button. All right, so let's make sure we import the text component as well. Let's import text from color React Native text. And now here, let's import that. Let's remove something happened there. Auto import. So import submit button from components auth submit button, and then let me just put that here. Okay, so touchable opacity also we need to import into this component, so we can do that from React Native. Alright, now we have the button. Awesome. Now we need to pass a function which will execute when user presses on this button.